Hello, happy Friday. Just getting all set up here. Hi, Karen. Trying to pull this up on my iPad so I can get going here. It's not cooperating very well. Hope you're having a great day. There it is, I think. Okay. All right, I see it now. There we go. All right. So what's new with everyone? Hi, Kim. Are you at work or are you at home today? It's so dark out that I'm looking at the window over there because I thought maybe I had the blind closed on it, but it's just yucky here. I was really hoping for a nice weekend. Do I have my phone turned wrong? No. But it's supposed to be rainy all weekend here, which is a bummer. We're trying to get finished up in our, oh, you don't work on Fridays, that's cool. We're trying to get finished up on cleaning our garage out, which has been a process. Let's see, we're working on almost 45 years worth of, stuff. Collecting. So, and okay, let me tell you this. You guys will think I'm a hoarder, but I've kept all the greeting cards that Ken and I have received individually and together, that the kids received growing up. I kept all the little things that were savable that they made in school. So I have like tote boxes full of greeting cards, but it's so fun to look back because, as we've been going through this stuff, it's so fun to look back at the cards that we got for, we'll say my baby shower, my bridal showers, that I got when I was a little kid. From people who aren't here anymore, and all the really old cards. They're just, they were so different back then, and my thought process is to put them all in just scrapbooks. I had one when I was a kid with all the old cards. I have not come across that one. I'm hoping, well, I don't know. I'm getting down to the bottom of the barrel and I haven't came across that scrapbook. So it could be in my hope chest still, because I still have that. And I'm thinking that might be where it is. Hey, Christine. But I bought some scrapbooks from a store that was going out of business just to glue cards into. Not anything that I will decorate. I will just fill the pages with cards. And I probably have far more cards than I have room in these scrapbooks. They're kind of the old-fashioned kind with the kind of craft color paper, and they tie, on the outside so you can put more pages in them so they expand a little bit. So that's my thought if I ever get to it. But yeah, so many loads to the dump of getting rid of stuff, and then we have a huge amount of things packed up, ready to take to donate whenever the stores get back open so that we can do that, which I'm hoping will be sooner than later, just because we're really wanting to clean that all out of the garage. Okay, so enough about that. I will go ahead and get my phone mounted and get going. I've got a really fun project today. Let me flip this around. So this little project I have today is something that was shared on our demonstrator Facebook group, and it's from a gal that goes by Crafty Karen Design. She is a demonstrator in the UK. So for those of you who may be watching in the UK and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would encourage you to check Karen out if you see anything that you would like to order. And if you're in the US and you don't have a demonstrator, I would invite you to check out my little store. And that is the address there. I would love to have you order with me if you don't already have someone that you order from. That would just help me keep going, and I would appreciate it so much. So that is my address, and Karen's is, well, that is her blog address in the UK, and I'm sure there is a link there that would take you right to her shopping page. I was looking here real quick to see if I could see what her Stampin' Up! Web address is. I'm not seeing it, but you can find her here on her blog, and that would get you to a link where you could shop with her. And this is the cute little box that we're making. You can see what hers look like, and I made a boo-boo on mine. But here is the one I'm going to make today and share with you, and here's the boo-boo. I didn't plan very well when I spaced out the holes. No biggie. I mean, this is just going to be here in my stamping room, but isn't this cute, you guys? And it's really so easy to make. And it really holds the ribbon well. So let's get at it. If by chance you have any questions at all regarding what is going to be retiring in the catalog here, ask me. There's a lot of stuff retiring, but I've seen the new catalog. I can't wait to get a for real one in my hands, and we're getting so much good stuff. Hi Michelle, hi Janice. We are getting some really awesome, cool things. I do want to let you know that the Stampin' Blends being sold individually is going away. So if there's any colors individually that you want, I would order them up here soon, because you'll only be able to get them in the duos, which is the light and dark colors. For instance, I use the light pool party a lot for outlining around images, just to make them pop a bit. And then I also use the light petal pink color a lot, like coloring cheeks and, you know, giving that blush to skin colors. So I ordered me an extra one each of those colors. But anyway, yeah, don't be afraid to ask. Okay, so let's get going. So you're going to need a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock to make this little box. And let me give you the measurements. And again, it's craftykarendesigns.blogspot.com, and the instructions are right there. So I'm not going to reprint them because you can find them right there. She's a UK demonstrator, so you can find them right there. But if, like I said earlier, if there's anything that you'd like to order from Stampin' Up! And you don't have a demonstrator, please shop with me. I would just really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get going. Oh, I don't want to lose my instructions because I have to look at them. Okay, so this piece of cardstock is cut at 11 3/4 long and 7 3/4 on the short end here. Then you're going to need 6 little pieces of designer paper, and those are going to be cut at 1 3/4 by 4. So 6 of those, 1 3/4 by 4. Okay, and then again 7 3/4 by 11 3/4. And I'm getting ready here to do some scoring. So if you want to write where you're going to do the scoring, get ready because I'm about to do it. Okay, so on the short side here, you're going to put it in, and we are going to make the first score mark at 1 7/8, okay? So right there. And let me get my cutting blade out of the way. So 1 7/8 for the first score mark. Hi, Seal. And the next one is going to be at 6 inches. And remember, we are on the short side of the paper for these two score marks. So 6 inches here, 1 7/8 and 6 inches. Then you're going to turn your cardstock 90 degrees. So turn it to the long side. And we're going to have several more score lines on this side. So the first one's going to be at 1 7/8. The second one is 3 3/4. The third one is 5 5/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let me extend my arm here. Okay, so what did we just do? We did 5 5/8, and the next one is going to be 7 1/2. Nine 3/8. 1, 2, 3. And then 11 3/8 is the last score. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is it for the score lines. Okay, now the next direction is to cut up the vertical score lines on each of the long sides to the first horizontal score on that side. So we're going to cut up to this first score line. And these, you're going to have this last little piece here that's a really skinny end. So we're going to remove this little rectangle and this one on each side. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And that little skinny line is actually what kind of holds your ribbon rolls in place. Now I have put Velcro on the sides of mine to keep the sides shut, and that wasn't in the directions, and you don't have to do that. But here's that little skinny tab right here. Okay. Oh, I'll open it back up so you can see the ribbon. I didn't want to pull them out, but they're coming out of the holes. That's okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ribbon rolls in there. You could get more than that because I've got 2 that are wide. All right, let me do this other one. And this box is actually super easy to make. and it's fun, and it's cute. Okay. Hi, Jan. Okay. So now we're going to cut those score lines up to the first long score line. I'm having to turn this in the light so I can see my score line. Oopsie, knocking things off. I kind of think it's easier to go with a little bit bigger pair of scissors than like your detail scissors, because you can kind of just make one longer cut than a bunch of smaller ones when you're using your smaller scissors. Okay. This is a good project to use up some of your smaller pieces of design paper or patterned papers, because you could do a different piece on each of the rectangles, you know, make it kind of look like patchwork. All right, there we go. So that part is all done. It's probably a good idea to go ahead and fold on your score lines and give it a good crease. It will definitely make it easier in putting this box together. And there's the little tab piece. And I probably should have done that before. I'm just going to fold these over because these ones don't have to be creased quite so tightly, but just go ahead and fold them so that they're easier to work with. And I could have done that before I cut on all those lines, but that's okay. Okay, now the other thing to think about is when you're attaching your pieces here, and again, these are 1 3/4 by 4. Is if they are going a certain direction, and like on this box, I don't want that being upside down. So you're gonna start, so the piece that doesn't have that skinny tab, okay, is going to be the front of your box. So I would say if you have papers that go a certain direction, make sure that these first two that you put on are facing you and going the direction you want. So now that's the back side of this paper, and as you can see, what I did was every other side I just flipped it over, and I think it looks pretty cute like that. So I'll probably do the same thing with this one. So these, I don't really have to worry about the back side because it's going all random anyway. So those two are going to go like that, and then from there on out, the rest of them I'm going to face the opposite direction because they're going to go around the back. So see, on the back of this, then it's going the right direction, and then there'll be one on the bottom, and it doesn't matter. So anyway, plan that out ahead of time. And now we just are going to put these on. Seriously, this box is really quick and easy to make. And what a help. I mean, I have my ribbons here and there, but like if you use a certain bunch of ribbons a lot, then put those all together in one box, or group them by colors, you know. Put all of the red ones in one box, or, you know, and then you can just store all of your cute little boxes together. I love it. And I figured out, hopefully I figured out, what to do about the fact that my holes were wonky. Because I'm sure you could measure, you know, figure out and measure so that you have them spaced exactly. But I was in a hurry to get my box done, and I thought, oh, I can just eyeball this. Well, obviously I can't. But it's just for me to use, and so I'm not like freaking out about the fact that the holes were wonky. Does it bug me? Yeah, kinda. And I certainly wouldn't give it to somebody looking like that. But for my own use, whatever. I'll try to do better on this one, and we'll see if it works. So, according to her directions, you punch those holes after you have the box together. I think that was kind of, you know, that didn't work out too well for me and the hole punch that I have. I actually have since ordered the 1/2-inch hole punch from Stampin' Up because it's going away. So if you want one, get it. It's like $6. They're retiring it out of the catalog. So if you want it, get it fast. I have a 1/2-inch hole punch, but mine is like this style. And Stampin' Up's punches are so much better, you guys. And this one was really hard to try to space it. Whereas Stampin' Up's punches being more square, they're really way easier to plan and space things apart from each other. Okay, you're going to need some scraps of your designer paper to do the little things on the side. So the solid color is the Starburst punch, and it's not going anywhere. It'll still be available in the catalog. And then the solid is punched with a 2-inch punch, which is not going away either. And you could use dies if you have, you know, a die that you want. Let's see. Yeah. You could use a die also. It's just a lot easier sometimes to grab a punch and for doing your little holes, I think that would be, you know, you could certainly do it with a small circle die. Okay, there we go. So now what I want to do is the punching. Fingers crossed. I'm not going to do it after the box is put together because that was hard. I'm going to do it so that I can move my hole punch over this way a little bit, because see, when the box was together, I couldn't move it over far enough and get those holes. Now, I could have just punched 5 and been done with it, but I was trying to squeeze in 6. Hey, Jennifer. And so, yeah. And of course, they're not evenly spaced by any means. And they probably won't be now either, but at least I can get my punch over more closer to the edge here. And I am putting it up as far as it will go into the punch. Whee! And I'm going to come over here and do it on this side. So already, see, I don't have it exactly even, but you know what? It's okay. I'm doing it upside down so I can see, the spacing. Okay. Now I know I can fit 2 more in here. There might be a little wonky extra space in the middle, but that's okay. And there's gonna be. But at least I got 6 holes in there. Doesn't look too weird. It definitely looks way better than 3 on one side and 2 on the other. I'm okay with that. Okay, now let me get some, not yarn, ribbon. So these are all Stampin' Up ribbons, and let me just measure this, you know, because not all ribbon containers are the same size. So these are like 3 1/4 inch wide. So if you wanted to make one of these with bigger things, I'm not sure, because we're using almost a full 12 inches. What is it, 3 3/4 that I said. So our papers are 11 3/4 by 7 3/4 is our original size. So you really couldn't go much bigger than this size of a ribbon container. All right, let me get my glue. I'm using liquid glue. I just find it to be easier with this. Okay, so you're going to start with the lip. At the right hand side. So it says, so you're going to bring the first 2 together, and you want to have your ribbon in here, and you're going to just overlap. I'm knocking things off. So again, have your lip here at the front. Put it in here, put your ribbon in to just get it going, and kind of overlap so you can kind of see. I would say overlap maybe the first 4. So it's going to look like that. And then go ahead and lift those up, and you can kind of see where you want to put your glue. And I just did circles of glue, so I'm going to just start and put a circle of glue right here, because you're going to come back over in the end, and if you want to go back after you get it initially glued, you can. You're going to come back over in the end with this that kind of covers up what you're doing anyway. Okay, so let's bring this back up here. The first end's a little wonky to get it going, but so, you know, hold it there for just a few seconds till it gets set. And then lift that up and put some more glue. Put that back in there just so you can kind of hold it in place. and then your last tab. So are you seeing how easy this is? Really? I mean, it really is. I love this project. Okay, I'm just gonna hold that there for a few seconds. Do, 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 do. All right, so I think we're good. And then we will come down to this end and do the same. Okay, we'll just hold it there for a few seconds. And if you want, you could take a clothespin and hold it there and get you another clothespin, which I don't have two clothespins out here, I don't think. But that side's already glued a little bit, so I'm going to just hold a clothespin there, and I need to grab my other scraps here and punch out 2 with the starburst punch. So there is that. And the papers that I am using are the Follow Your Art Designer Series papers. All the current Designer Series papers will be retiring. And I love this pack. There's so many cute designs in this. So you can use any design that you want. And I used the little paper clip and sequin ones. And I don't know what I did with my scrap that I punched the first ones from. Oh, I don't think I had a scrap. I just pulled out because I hadn't used that. I think it's the yellow stripe. Yep. So it was this one. I'm making a mess. All right, let me punch. That's the wrong punch. So I just need a couple of those. Again, I love Stampin' Up's punches. They are just so nice and easy to work with. Okay, so I think there's a Miss Kitty hair or a Todd hair there. All right, those are ready. Then using the stamp set that goes with those papers and the dies, there are matching dies, and this set's sadly going away. It is also expiring. I stamped this design and colored it. I didn't figure you needed to watch me color because the focus of this was making the box. But I did color it up with my blends. And then I punched out from the pretty, I think it's called the pretty, I thought I brought my catalog. I know I did. What did I do with my catalog? Here it is. Because this punch is going away too, I wanted to tell you. The Pretty Label, that's what it's called. Pretty Label punch is retiring also. But I punched out to match I used the same paper there, and that's gonna go on the top. Okay, so I think we're good with that. And then the lid, I should have done the lid because we're gonna do the same thing with the lid. We're going to attempt to do the same thing with the lid. And it's not quite as easy, but if you fold it over here, you can kind of get it lined up and get your glue on. So to be safe, I'm just going to put it right here in the corner. You can't go really too tight with it down because you want your ribbon rolls to spin easily in there. Okay, I'm just going to put the clothespin on it there and come over here and do this one. So have any of you been getting takeout food, or are you scared? We've been getting takeout food. We got takeout last night, actually, seafood from one of our local seafood places here. Because frankly, I get tired of cooking every single night. And we are folks who like to go eat out, and we do it pretty often. Oh, but I have to say, we bring the food home. I take it out of whatever container it came in, put it on a plate. I wash my hands probably during that process at least twice. I sanitize wherever the containers were sitting on the counter. I really think I go a little over the top with it, but I'm a bit of a germaphobe, so. Okay, so I think we're okay there with that. Now, I got in my drawer of miscellaneous supplies and pulled out my Velcro from all the years of crafting, hoping that I had some of the little white circles. These are sticky back Velcro tabs. And all I had was black, and I obviously didn't really want to use black on this. Not that it would show, but I just didn't. But I did have some of the long roll of the same sticky Velcro, and I'm not sure if you can find this at Dollar Tree. I was tempted to go there and see if they had some white, but I decided to just go with the stuff I had, and I have not been in Dollar Tree since all this stuff started, so I didn't go. But anyway, okay, so now I'm going to take my little label that I punched out and glue on the top of the box because I just wanted it to have some decoration. Karen did not put anything on the top of hers, and she's using that new paper from the Ornate suite. I really like that paper, but I didn't have it, so using what I have. And I thought this paper was super cute for this ribbon box because it's got ribbon on it. So I thought it was just right for this project. And I'm going to put dimensionals on that so it pops up a bit. I like to make little crafty things like this, and not just cards all the time. I mean, I love to make cards, but sometimes I just want to do other things with my stamps and stuff. I like to make things, especially something like this that comes in handy and is a storage, you know. I mean, who doesn't need storage ideas? Organizational things. And so this is just going to go up there. And if you wanted to put, you know, little baubles or sequins or whatever on there, I think that this, I'm going to undo this if I can get it undone. It needs to come over just a little bit more. I don't want to rip it. There we go. It needs to come over a little bit more. Because it was looking wonky. There, that's better. Where's my, here it is. There we go. And now I can, while that's drying, I can stick these together. And even though I've only put 6 holes in that box, you can put, like I said, at least up to 8 of the skinny ribbon spools in there, and you just have more than one ribbon coming out one of the little pull holes there. And it works just fine. Okay, now let me see what I did here. So it's kind of right in the middle there of your swirls around. So you're just going to want to put your glue kind of on one half of this. And sort of line it up in the middle. And you don't really even have to put anything on the ends if you don't want to. It's just a little added, you know, decoration. If any of you make this box, I would love to have you come back and post a picture of it here. I will share this video to my page, so it'll be there to come back to. And come back to my page and post a picture so we can see what your ribbon box looks like. Okay, there we go. Now, I've had this Velcro for a really long time, and The little sheets are pretty stuck on there. You guys, when I was talking earlier at the beginning about cleaning out the garage, I had, just for general crafting, because I used to do craft bazaars, and so I had a lot of just general crafting supplies, and I had them all in storage drawers, you know, those drawer units you can get, like Sterilite or whatever brand they are, and you could kind of see through. They're opaque, but you can see through the front of the drawer to see what's in them. I had a bunch of those full. I donated probably 98% that was worth keeping of that stuff. I put in donation boxes. I pared it down to one tote, and it's not a giant tote, of crafting supplies that I kept. I thought I'm very proud of myself for that. And I had boxes and boxes and boxes, tote boxes, of stamping magazines, Stamper Sampler, Somerset Studio, the Rubber Stamper. There was some other ones. I had them in those boxes sorted out by the magazine. So like just particular magazines would be in the box, and then they were in there by the published date, or when they, you know, when they came out. And the only ones I kept, it was really super hard, you guys, because I didn't think I was going to get rid of them at all. But it's like, you just can't hang on to all this stuff forever. And I thought I would go back and look at them, and I haven't. So I figured it was just best to let them go, which I did, except for Rubber Stamp Madness. I kept that one because it's just such a unique magazine, and I only have one little thing of those, one little kind of, I don't even consider it really a plastic tote. It's plastic, but it's more of a case. And I've kept, which I have in my stamp room here, all the ones that I have things published in, because I was really into submitting things to magazines at one point. And so I had several things published in those, and I'm not about to get rid of those. And in the last house we lived in a magazine that was called The Rubber Stamper, I submitted my stamp room, because they did a feature on people's stamp rooms, and mine was in one of those issues. That was so fun. So I've got that one too. I actually made a little book and put the pictures in it from that stamp room. We had, the house that we lived in was small. It was a 3-bedroom, but it was still small. And so we remodeled and turned the garage into my stamp room. It turned out so nice, and that was what was featured in that magazine. Okay, so I've got that together. So the first few times you pull the Velcro apart, you want to be careful. And I'm thinking those little round tabs would be better. And you don't have to stick it down real hard. I mean, you just want it to, and you don't have to put it on at all, but you just want it to kind of keep the sides down a bit. If you have those little magnets, those would probably work really good too. I need to order some of those. Okay, now this part, getting the plastic off of the ribbon. Hi, Kathy. Okay, so you'll want to put it in so that your ribbon pulls down. I think my hubby's home. He was going to take off a little early today so we can work in the garage some more. Yep, he's here. I hear him. I love this sparkly ribbon. Okay. And I've got one more out, so I will put that in here. Look, there's 3 of these are red. So remember when I was saying you could like do a box for each of the colors of ribbon you have. If you had several ribbons that were all in the same color family, you can do a box for each color. Where's the end? That's the like inside end, I think. I don't know where the end is. Oh, for heaven's sakes. That's the inside. That's like the, it looks like it should be right here somewhere. I don't know. Now I'll make a big mess. That's not good. Okay, I don't know. I'll have to find the end. Hi, Ken. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! And then they just pull out so easy. I love it. Now I have 2. And if you didn't put a decoration, could you stack them? Well, maybe. Not really. Aren't they cute? Do you like it? I do. This one came out a little straighter than my wonky first one, but that was my first attempt. So cute. Now I've got all that ribbon and I can put more ribbon in both of them. Let's see, do I have room? No. Yeah, no. That one's full. I just need to pull the ends back through. But I've definitely got room in this box for more rolls, and I have some more rolls to put in there, which I will do. But so yeah, you can just grab your box, have it sitting right there, and have all these ribbons instead of having them all scattered around. I love it. You guys, make ribbon boxes. Okay, thanks for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Don't forget to check out what's on clearance right now and what's retiring. You'll find both of those groupings on my site there. It will say, I don't remember what it says exactly, but you'll know what the clearance rack is, and then you'll see one for the stuff that's retiring. And some things have been really reduced in price, so be sure to go check that out, and I'll see you again next Friday. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.